Well, good evening, and how are you all this evening? Welcome to American Revival, where we're going to follow and talk about and celebrate the revival of an America that many of us once knew and that we're determined to give back again. Did you all who are with us over on the Patreon channel, did you know that we have an associated Patreon channel for this? Yes, we do, and the link is down below if you'd like to join it. We put up a bunch of stuff about Rush Limbaugh. Yesterday was the fourth anniversary of his passing, and I'll tell you what, he is a man, if not the man, who changed America. A lot of people think that it's Trump, and he is too, but there would not have been a Donald Trump, a President Trump. There would have been a Donald Trump. He was an exceptional person, even regardless of being president. There probably would not have been a President Trump had it not been for Rush Limbaugh. And I put up several things over on the Patreon channel. We put up, have you ever seen Rush dance with Clarence Frogman Henry? Are you familiar with that? If you haven't, I put it up over there. If do you remember what was her name? Barbara Chenault, the opera singer that sang some of the intros. God bless Rush Limbaugh. And then there was the Talent on Loan from God. Do you remember all that? I put a lot of that stuff over on the Patreon channel, and I'm going to continue to put stuff up over there. And we're going to celebrate the revival of America because, you know what? America is the greatest country that has ever existed. And I want to remind Americans of that, and I want to remind non-Americans of that. You may be watching from somewhere else in the world. You may be watching from Australia or Europe or even Canada. Yes, you might be watching from Canada. And I just want to remind you, we don't think anything badly about you. We just understand that America is the greatest country that has ever been. Okay, and we're going to get back to that with the leadership of Donald Trump and the support of millions of Americans who kept their mouths shut for way too long while we suffered under the idiocy and communistic dictates of liberalism in this country and wokeness and all that. The same thing that is infecting so much of the world. The rest of them haven't yet shaken off those chains and gotten the guts to stand up, but hopefully they will follow our lead and be able to. Do you know why? When I say America is the greatest country, and some people might say, well, there is no country called America. Well, that's true. It's the United States of America. But whenever you go somewhere else, you might be well, I was in Ireland, and nobody ever asked me if I was a United Statesian. They always asked me if I was American. And they distinguished American from Canadian. Okay? I'll tell you what Thomas Wolfe said. He said, America, it is a fabulous country. The only fabulous country. It is the only place where miracles not only happen, but where they happen all the time. That's true. That is the story of America. And, speaking of miracle, by the way, that brings to mind that hockey movie. Remember that hockey movie I guess it was the American hockey team beating the Russian team, wasn't it? It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it reminds me of what happened the other night up in Canada, or was it in Canada? I forget. There was two horrible things that happened up having to do with Canada. One, that airplane that flipped. Have you ever seen an airplane flip upside down? I mean, how does that happen? Well, it happened in Canada. Maybe that's what happens in Canada. They're kind of upside down about a lot of things. Guys, hey, I want to speak to the good Canadians up there. Y'all are good folks. You're probably just Northern American, right? And I'm sorry for your government, and I'm sorry for a lot of things up there. Canada is the little brother, the stepbrother of America. Let's just put it this way. It is the one who never left home. Okay, the one who never left home and got up from behind the skirts of Mama, the Queen. Okay, I mean any country that's run by a queen. Look what has happened to, and I think Elizabeth II was pretty tough girl, but look what happened to that country, you know. And the Canadians never Canada just never shook loose of the apron strings. So maybe someday you can, but we will still allow you. I don't know if we want to make Canada the 51st state. I don't think that there's enough there for it to be an actual state of the United States. Maybe a county of Montana. Would that be, or maybe just a little extension of Montana? Okay, I think that'd be all right. And but we cannot allow you to call yourself Americans. Okay, I know you're in North America, but you're not Americans. Okay, and I mean, Canadians have said some horrible things about Americans, right? They really do, and that's too bad. And I think it's because of the leadership of that little squirrely guy who's their leader up there. What is his name? Turd something? Okay, something like that. I don't know, but that was just horrible. And the other horrible thing that happened. Did you hear about the attack? It was a brutal attack on those Canadian hockey players after that game. After they got their butts kicked by the American hockey players, after the Canadians booed the American national anthem. By the way, I think that we might want to consider making Canada change their national anthem from "O Canada." I've always loved that. I used to go to hockey games in Kansas City a lot. My second son played hockey. I always loved "O Canada." "Oh Canada," it was a pretty song, but I don't think that after that display, after booing ours, I don't think we can allow Canada to keep that. And again, for you good Canadians, I'm sorry. Feel free to move to America, be Americans, but I think we probably need to change, to make them change their national anthem to that one. What was it? Oh, I'm a lumberjack. The lumberjack song, right? I'm a lumberjack and I'm okay. Sleep all night and I work all day. Remember that one? Yeah. Well, when you get to the later part of that song, you really start to see, right? Well, I won't say it but watch that. Isn't Monty Python? I will put that up on the Patreon. Site. You know what I also put? Oh, I forgot to talk about the brutal attack on that man. I'm sorry, because it is serious. And I want to say that I don't condone physical violence, but three of those guys were brutally attacked, of the Canadians. They were brutally attacked leaving the game. They did sustain some fairly serious injuries. They had their jerseys taken from them and their hockey sticks broken. Okay, and they do have a description of the suspect. They say that she was about 6 years old, blonde hair, blue-eyed. Apparently yelled at them in a Texas accent and skipped away giggling. So, well, that's terrible, isn't it? Isn't that terrible? Let me bring my screen back up here. On the other hand, in America, the real America, we had a police officer was shot, and it was a suspect who went to the hospital. That's how we do things down here. Okay, let's get off of our northern neighbors for just a minute. I don't now. No, I might. Don't get on here and make any rude comments, because I'll have to get back on you if you do. I'm going to put that one up there too. New York police officer gets shot by career criminal and walks away as the suspect leaves on a gurney. Yeah, that's how we do it here. No 6-year-olds whipping our butts. Let's see. Oh yeah, in the new world of the new America, and that says something else. Now let's look to our neighbors of the South. We are deporting illegal aliens, which is the correct term for people who sneak into your country illegally. We are deporting them, and they are self-deporting. I mean, it's you remember them talking about that sucking sound from the South? And in the old days under Democrat administrations, it was the sucking of jobs and money. Now it's the sucking of illegal aliens back down south. And the CIA apparently now is sending drones over Mexico and looking for fentanyl labs. Well, that's how you're going to find the money supply of the cartels. So we will see in it, and I guess SF guys, special forces, are already in Mexico. How about that? All I can say to the cartels is it sucks to be you, right? But I mean, you had a chance, and this commie president that they have down there in Mexico now, what's her name? Claudia Sheinbaum. I think Trump kind of told her what needed to happen, but I think she's dragging her feet on this, and you can't trust the corruption down there. So anyway, it looks like we're getting ready to go down and take care of some stuff down there. And I have seen a big change. Stores that I used to go into, certain kinds of stores, Home Depot and things like that, they aren't nearly as busy as they used to be. But so for our neighbor down south, who I love, I love Mexico. I was thrown in jail in a border patrol station on Nogales when I was 18, trying to smuggle switchblades across the border to bring them back to make some dinero, and I know that it was the guy that how that stuff works, right? They sell you the switchblades, and then they give the tip to the guys at the border, and they say, go in that room, take off your boots, there you are. But I never held it against them. I went back the next day, I got more, came back just fine. So yeah, okay, I was a smuggler. Smuggler's Blues, remember that? Who was that, Don Henley? I might put that up there too, Smuggler's Blues. But that was innocent. That wasn't bringing a bunch of fentanyl across the border, and it wasn't human trafficking. It was getting a couple of switchblades to come back and sell to my buddies, because we were 18 and we wanted switchblades. But yeah, I love Mexico. I love the Mexican people. I've had numerous Mexican girlfriends. I love Mexican food. I love everything about Mexico except their crime and corruption and their drugs coming up here, and the way that the bad part. So, but there's a lot more good part to Mexico than bad. I love the Mexican people, and I think that Mexico ought to be a protectorate of the United States, just like Greenland should be. And I have no problem with making Greenland a state. It's all right with me. Canada, not so much. They haven't earned it. They've talked bad about us and stuff like that. I've never heard any Greenland people talk bad about us. And for the most part, Mexicans don't. They like it. I mean, they all have relatives up here. They come up here and visit. I think they're great people. And so I think to have Mexico as a protectorate, I think it'd be great. We already have, so I don't know what to name it. I mean, it's, did you hear that Mexico is suing Google over this renaming the Gulf of America, the Gulf of America? For some reason, they want it to be the Gulf of Mexico. I don't know how, why. I mean, what sense does that make, right? I mean, it's America. And so anyway, it should be fun to watch. But I don't know what to name Mexico. I don't have any really a problem with it remaining Mexico, but maybe the official name should be something else to show that it's a protectorate of us, America. So we already have a New Mexico. We might make it New America. Okay, so we got a New Mexico and a New America. I think that'd be good. And then what we could do is, once we take care of all those nitwits down there and stick them in Guantanamo, we could just build a wall across the southern border of Mexico, which would be a much shorter wall, right? Because once the Mexicans are Americans, because most of them are just great people, they're hardworking people, they're Christian. You get rid of the nitwits, and you've got a great country. And then that'd be cool. And then we just go down there, one more hop, skip, and a jump, and we take the canal back, the canal that we dug at the cost of 38,000 American lives and a whole lot of money that commie Jimmy Carter gave back. And maybe we put the border there, the fence. I think that makes perfect sense. What do you all think about that? In America, instead of 3 hockey players getting thumped by a 6-year-old girl from Texas, do you think I'm kidding about that? The way we do it here is juvenile retrieves handgun. Oh, I put the funniest thing up. Oh, I can't believe I forgot to tell you this. I put the funniest thing up again on the Patreon channel. Hey, if you don't want to join, that's all right. But you should. You'll love it. I'll put so much stuff up there you want to. And the link's somewhere down below. There was a video put up there about when Trump invades Canada. And it's a scream. It's a scream. Go watch it. But here, a juvenile retrieves a handgun and shoots 2 alleged armed intruders. 2 guys broke into this kid's house. Parents were gone. The kid went and got the gun that, they had because they're Americans, right? They didn't go get the plastic wiffle ball bat or the cricket bat. Y'all play cricket up there? Hockey stick. Okay. He got a stinking gun because he's an American. Okay. Which is what you use against people with guns. And 2 guys broke in. Our young man got his gun, shot both of them. One of them died on the scene. The other died either on the way to the hospital or in the hospital. Doesn't matter. He's dead. 2 dead. Okay. America, 1. Dirtbags, 0. That's the way it ought to be done. So Doge has revealed $4.7 trillion of taxpayer money went into a government black hole that is untraceable. Untraceable. You know how that could happen? Let me bring it up here and I'll explain it to you. Not that I could explain it to you, but I have an article here that can explain it, and I am able to read the article. So let me bring this up. By the way, this might be a good time to share with you something. We have a new, did I hurt you? I just knocked you over on my desk. We have a new line of mugs. I haven't talked about these very much, but we put out a line of mugs that you might want to have. I'll let you know if you do. After Trump was inaugurated, I designed a new set and had them manufactured, and we sell them through our website, stonemont.us. And it's 4 of the best quotes that I think that he gave in his inaugural speech. And here's what they look like. And I'm going to read each one of these. And then I'll get back to tell you where that $4.7 trillion went. Okay, or if we know. And each one has, of course, a picture of our wonderful president on each side. And on the sidebar, it says, President Donald Trump with the eagle and the shield, 45. I'm sorry, I was looking at it and saying, I should show it to you, not myself. I know what it says. 4547. Okay. Aren't those beautiful? This one says, like I said, these are all his quotes. And you can buy these individually. Just go to stonemount.us and you'll find them individually or in sets of 4. You can get, there are four of these sort of separate. And for a set of 4, it's I think it's just $80, and we pay the postage and handling, everything like that. And we ship only within the United States. No, we don't ship to Canada. But I think we can ship to Hawaii and Alaska, but it just takes longer. Okay. This one says, from this moment, America's decline is over. Can you see that? Is that not beautiful? The next one says, the golden age of America begins right now. Same as, and they all have them on both sides, so that when you're drinking it, the guy across the table from you at work or whatever can also see it. Or when you have your buddies over, they can each have one and drink good American beer, not Canadian beer, out of it. I might start saying, you remember how Rush used to say, and for those in Rio Linda? That was so funny, man. I might say, for those of you in Canada. I'm sorry, man, you brought it on yourself. I never picked on Canada, but man, Boo My National Anthem, you started it. It's just like when you're getting in a fight and the teacher comes out and says, Steve, why are you whooping on that boy? I said, he started it. Okay, this one says, in America, the impossible is what we do best. That's right. But you know what? I was thinking about it. I'm not sure about that. We do the impossible very well, but you know what we do best? I think we might make a mug on this too. What we do best is fight. Yes, we do. I said this the other day. There's probably no more warlike people than the Americans once you get us going. It's hard to get us going. We'll put up with a lot. We'll ignore a lot of stuff, but once we get up, it's over for you. Okay. And the last one was, I was saved by God to make America great again. There you go, right? And I don't view that as being sacrilegious. I believe that he actually said that, and he meant it. And I believe he was saved by God for his time here to make America great again. And like I said, you can also get this mug on if you'd like to. Make America great again. And I made that up because he already made America great again once, and then he had to do it again. So, again. Let me take a sip, and I'll tell you about this $4.7 trillion that you're missing out of your wallet. Oh, did I say so? I should have. I'm not a very good spokesmodel, am I? So there they are, guys. There are the mugs. Get them. Order as many sets as you like. We'll keep printing them. Get them for yourself. Get them as gifts. Get them to have around the house when your friends are over. They will love it. Have them around the house for when your Canadian friends come over. They'll love it. Okay, let's get to this. This is why... Okay, on Monday, Elon Musk's Doge, don't you love that, revealed the federal government didn't trace $4.7 trillion. Are you crooked again? I'm probably crooked. $4.7 trillion in payments. That's because $4.7 trillion in payments were left blank, making it nearly impossible to trace. The Treasury Access Symbol, the TAS, is an identification code linking a Treasury payment to a budget line item, a standard financial process. I'm not a financial person, so I don't know about these things. But that's what Doge explained in a post on X. So that's what they did. They just left a line on this payment where they're supposed to put down there. Let's see. In the federal government, the TAS field was optional for $4.7 trillion in payments and was often left blank, making traceability almost impossible. as of Saturday, this is now a required field, required by our president. Should have always been. Increasing insight into where the money is actually going. Well, yeah. Have you all ever worked on an expense account? Okay. Well, okay. I have a couple of businesses, and when I keep receipts, right, for what I spend, I have to make sure that I write down there what I'm gonna use it, take it off my when it's a deduction for my taxes. I have to write down, okay, that's for business, and this is what it was. For instance, I might go to Walmart, and I might get some shipping envelopes and some shampoo, right? Well, the government doesn't let me deduct my shampoo, but the shipping envelopes, because I send books in them, think those are deductible. So I write down those were deductible. That's what they were for. I put it in there. When you write a check, do you ever write a check? Or when you used to, and you write on the little line there. People paid me for my business, putting up Christmas lights on their house, and down there on the little line it says Christmas lights. Thanks. If you've ever worked a place to where you've had to, on an expense account, I used to do this when I was in law enforcement, and I'd travel. And I'd bring back all my receipts, and I'd say, this is for this, and this is for this, and this is for this, and this is for that. And the major would say, okay, that's good, and your hotel fee, that was good, and your this, that, and that was good, and your car rental was good, and your meals were good, up, $36 in dollar bills at Candy Cane Lane. No, we can't do that. Okay. Okay, you know what I'm talking. So somehow our government made this optional. You don't have you can just spend $4 trillion of Mr. and Mrs. Smith's money. You don't have to say what for. That's what's going on. Okay, well, America is coming back. America, and never forget this, guys. America is the greatest country there has ever been. We have not only built the greatest country there's ever been, but we have helped to build other countries and rebuild them time and time again for other people who lived in countries who were not the greatest countries in the world. And it's not my purpose to rag on those countries or to make them feel bad, but it is my purpose to remind you and everyone of the proper place and the proper situation, how things are. America's been under attack from within and without for way too long. And most of us are sick of it, which has resulted in his reelection. And it's time that we got things back to the way that they should be. I used to say on the old name of this channel, American Reversion, that America needs a reversion, and it needs you to be a part of it, and me to be a part of it, and all of us be a part of it. But I changed the name because now America is coming through a revival, and we should all be happy to be a part of it and work for it. Okay? All right, guys. One last time, if you want these mugs, go to stonemont.us. You'll love them. They are beautiful. They are the best mugs that have ever been. Everything you drink out of these will taste better than anything you've ever drunk in your life. But you will love them. And it's a way to carry our message. And just go to stonemont.us. Okay? All right, my fellow Americans, my fellow world citizens. I don't consider myself a citizen of the world. I consider myself a citizen of the United States. But the rest of you in the world, and you're my brothers and sisters, as long as you feel the same way I do about things, right? Okay. Y'all have a great night, wherever you are, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.